Welcome to another episode on History with Gloria. I'm sure you were blessed through the last episode. If you have not watched it, kindly go back and view it. Share the videos and please turn on the notification buttons so you can get notified when I post a new video. And to those that have been watching it so far, I say a big thank you to you. And today, I'm here with another interesting town to learn from, a new history to explore. As we delve into the history of this unique town, stay with Welcome guys, and today we are exploring the history of a town called Ilu-Aje. Have you ever heard of that town before? The name of the town is Ilu-Aje. There is a small town on your way to Oyo, just behind Fidifi. It's called Ilu-Aje. Literally, it translates to town of the witches. Town of the witches, Ilu-Aje. In the late 80s, there used to be a signboard in Fidifi that pointed to the path to this village. And the signboard has this inscription, "Way to Ilu-Aje, home of science." Lots of people used to fear indigenes of Ilu-Aje because it was believed that every man in Ilu-Aje is born of a witch, and every woman in Ilu-Aje is a witch. That is a mystery. It was said when some people visited this village called Ilu-Aje to find out why a whole village would be populated by witches. They were told this story, and I will narrate the story to you as well. So stay with me. It was recorded that in those days, the forefathers of the then Alaafin of Oyo, who was Alaafin Adeyemi II, he was said to have many siblings when he was young. But one day, one of his siblings got missing. A king's son got missing. In fact, scrap it. A whole Alaafin Oyo, in those days, he was not a king, he was an emperor. No, he was a deity, very powerful. So when the son of such an entity gets missing, of course, it's a very big trouble for the whole empire. Hunters were commissioned to look for the son. Every nook and corner of Oyo town was searched. Every service was checked. All hilltops were visited, yet the Alaafin son couldn't be found. Like the shepherd who had 99 sheep but was despondent about the lone missing sheep, the father was heartbroken about his missing son. Herbalists were consulted from Oyo-Ile to Ife. Sorcerers were recruited from Egbado to Ilu-Aje, yet no one could help find this missing son. Kabiyesi was sad. Olori was pained. The whole empire was gloomy. This is a sad story. But one fateful day, one evening, 3 months after all this episode, as the king and his chiefs were in the open court deliberating on this issue, a Babalawo strolled into the palace court with his Apoifa. Everyone looked at him in askance and were like, "Baba, what do you want? Why are you here? Who do you want to see? Can't you see we are in the middle of a serious issue?" Those were the questions posed at him by the chiefs. But the herbalist replied, "Kabiyesi," he greeted the king and told him that he is a Babalawo from a remote and secluded part of the outskirts of Oyo town. And he told the king that he has come to help him with his missing son. The chiefs laughed and they responded, "Babalawos from Sena climes have tried and failed. Onisheguns with Harvard degrees have attempted and fumbled. Who do you think you are? Please get out of this place." That was their response. But Kabiyesi was just looking at him in a non-interested way. But not to treat the Baba in a rude manner. Kabiyesi asked him to go ahead, but he should make it snappy. And the herbalist started, he consulted his Ifa, Iwaju Opo Ogbo, Eyin Opo Ogbo, and all those incantations. And he went ahead to consult the Ifa oracle. At the end of it, he came up with this conclusion and he told the Kabiyesi this, I quote, "Kabiyesi, you need not stress yourself. In 7 days' time, when the sun is directly over the head, and man stand upon his own shadow, Get 5 chiefs to sit under the shea butter tree at the eastern border of the town. They should be dressed in white and they should continuously clap their hands in unison. On the 201st clap, the king's son would have reached them and he would ask for water. That was the statement that Babalawo made. The chiefs concluded, no, it was clear, this Babalawo is mad. But as a parent looking for his lost son, the king decided to try everything said by this Babalawo just to prove him wrong. So though the recommendations of the Babalawo was crazy, Allah still carried them out. Behold, on the 201st clap, the king's son came to them. When the son was brought to the king and the event was narrated to the king, Alaafin Adeyemi II was said to have asked, Iru Babalawo Adifase bi Aje wo ni Babalawo? I quote again, Iru Babalawo Adifase bi Aje wo ni Babalawo? Meaning, what sort of herbalist who makes divination that come true like a witch's proclamation is this? Where does he live? The people answered that he lived by a forest patch at the outskirts of Oyo. The king asked that he should be visited. And for a very long time after this event, whenever people want to describe the area where this herbalist lived, they would say Ilu-Aje bi Aje, which was coined from the word made by the king, Ilu-Aje bi Aje. And over time, people just started shortening the name to Ilu-Aje. They omitted the Adifashe, thus the name Ilu-Aje was bettered. Can you see how the name Ilu-Aje came to be? But it's so sad to say this, that today Ilu-Aje has no electricity, no pipe-borne water, no development, no infrastructural development, so to say. But if we look at what the forefathers of this town did, what they actually did for the king, the town should be one of the towns to be reckoned with, because as expected, someone that did such a great might is supposed to be rewarded. But if we look at that town today, there's no infrastructural development whatsoever. And that is the history of Ilu-Aje. What lesson do we want to bring out of this story of the town called Ilu-Aje? I want to point our attention to the king, the Alaafin of Oyo then. He was disturbed, quite alright. He lost a son. That's commendable, but he didn't allow that to overwhelm him to the point that he won't be able to go on with his daily activities. He didn't allow that to overwhelm him to the point of having these thoughts of ending his life or giving up on life. Because if you look at the story very well, there was a point when Alaafin had a meeting with his chiefs, which depicts that he was going about with his day-to-day activities. Now to you, my viewer, when you have some trials, when you are going through some challenges, I hope you don't just think, let me just shut down myself, let me shut out from the world, let me just get like, I'm thinking of ending this life. That should not be your thoughts whenever you are going through trials, whenever you are going through challenges. Remember, tough times don't last. So you don't, because of the challenges you are going through, try to shut out yourself from people, try to end your life, or try to go into depression, all because of what you are going through. I know it's not easy. Yes, we go through some things that are beyond human imagination and you feel, why am I going through this? But that is not a time for you to give up on life. That is not a time for you to go into depression. So to my viewer today, I'm imploring you that whenever you are going through trials, whenever you are going through challenges, don't because of that shut out yourself from the world. Don't because of that give up on life. No, there is still hope for you. So you don't give up, because there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So please don't give up on life. And it is with this that I will be drawing the curtain of today's episode on History with Gloria. Thank you for watching this video. Please share it with your friends and remember to subscribe to this channel if you have not done that. And please turn on the notification button so you can get notified when I post a new video. Until I come your way next time, remain blessed.